One quick question. What are you and The Rock up to?
What's that? Me and The Rock? You mean, oh, that. Absolutely nothing. That was a Throwback Thursday video from 2 years ago. So, not much.
Hey Gary, Leo Gonzalez here from Orlando and Accurate Mortgage. Just wanted to say first things first, thank you for hosting us all here and obviously all the content that you put out. Really, it's changing my life and I'm sure other people here as well.
Thank you.
Just kind of want to go on a macro level, not really anything specific and industry related, just more of leadership style.
Okay.
How do you deal on a personal and as a managerial level with emotional and work distress? Maybe helping your employees compartmentalize. Like myself, I can do it pretty well. I can put out fires kind of like how you pointed out relative ease, but how do you as a leader pretty much help your employees compartmentalize that?
Communication. Right? There's a lot of employees who, I create infrastructure. It's why it was very important for me to build up Claude and the HR department and chief heart officer. I lean into leaders that have been around Vayner for a while that build up equity by just being in the company for a while. So I don't get my hands into things where I don't need to get my hands into. Caring, just being updated when things are going on with people. So I stay very close to HR that way. If things are going on in people's personal lives or if there's conflicts with inter-department or people of that nature. I think it ultimately just comes down to over-communicating. When I get the chance to do it one-on-one, it's always rooted in insecurity. People are just insecure. And then, if I get the luxury of really getting to know them, you try to figure out why. And if they can figure out why, you can start building towards the resolution. But it's caring, right?
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's just caring to speak to them about that. And one of the things is candor. I talk about radical candor not being a strength of mine at one point at Vayner, but in hindsight, there was a lot of candor. In its detail, I was very comfortable over communicating why I thought they were acting that way because they were scared they were going to get fired. 90% of people navigate through with fear as the lead.
But besides communicating, trying to communicate as much as possible, is there anything else you would suggest to kind of break through that wall? Maybe new employee or an employee who maybe doesn't feel comfortable sharing things?
You try to create multiple things. It can't just be come to me. I have an open door policy, nobody. Then you do group dinners. Then you really invest in the people that are cultural monsters within your organization. Right? There are many people at Vayner over the last decade that are the reason it worked because they were great at HR and somebody would trust them but not me, right? So it's just creating a culture where you're eliminating fear.
Makes sense.
And firing shitheads.
Yeah.
Thank you. You got it, brother. Hi.
Hi, Gary. So you talk a lot about creating content and attention to the asset. And
yes.
As agents, we are constantly putting out fires, as that gentleman over there said, and we have inspections to go to, contracts to negotiate, and all these different things that are working on our business. And I know that.
What are you doing with the other 16 hours?
Right. So how do you prioritize creating content and creating that, videos and social stuff when a lot of the time is taken up by clients and inspections and things like that?
First things first, which is what's your ambition, right? For a lot of people here, they don't have to, right? In the essence, to me, it comes down to how many hours do you work and what are you doing within those hours and how much money do you want to take home? If you're doing really well and you want content, you could hire somebody to film you and post-produce. You could. Right? Mm-hmm. If your ambition is enormous, you could work an extra hour. So this is just about resources of money and time mapped against your ambition. There's no, I can't. Mm-hmm. Of course you can. Every single person here wastes an hour every day on dumb shit, including myself.
Including myself.
Of course. So stop doing dumb shit. Right? But it starts with the self-awareness that that's the case.
Yeah.
And then it depends on how ambitious you are. Mm-hmm. If you're buying into my model, you're running a marathon. I'm talking about branding and long-term wealth creation. I'm not talking about short-term sales arbitrage.
Right.
So people pick short-term. Mm-hmm. They want to buy a Lambo.
Right.
They want to go on a better vacation this year. That's why they don't do it. Which ultimately, in this industry and the four here, will lead to the demise because the only thing left is going to be your personal brand.
I should have known that was going to be your answer, but I just figured maybe, I don't know.
Sometimes you have to hear it.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that
'Cause that's such a typical answer for like across the board.
because it's the answer.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why I didn't think of it.
Like my favorite thing on my social is when somebody on the Instagram posts, because I read them, right? And they're like, "Hey Gary V, you know what? Unsubscribe. I'm done with you. You say the same shit over and over." I'm like, would you like me to make up shit I don't believe in? Just to mix it up? I mean, it's very true. But the question is, what less people talk about is ambition. You know, when I talk about work-life balance, I talk about happiness and ambition. There is no right work-life balance. If you like what? Like everyone's living a different life. Like if you love what you do, it's your hobby. Like when I was 7 or 8 in Gator Town, when it snowed, I wanted to shovel people's yards, not build a snowman. It's in my DNA. It's what I like. So when you love it, the hell are you supposed to do? Not do it? But you have to know what you're up to. My biggest problem is people's mouths don't map their actions.
Yeah.
They're gonna build a huge fucking brokerage, but they can't find that hour because they have to watch the English Premier League.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
It's complete. Thank you, Gary, for putting this on, and thanks again for the advice you gave us last year. It helped quadruple. our
Yeah,
business.
can you tell everybody just 4 seconds of it? Because it's so real, because I remember sitting in that, we had a mix-up as a post-game to a keynote, and so we met at an airport hotel. We had condensed time, and I just, it was funny, I was telling you and your wife yesterday, like, I knew you were gonna do it. It's just in that short period of time, that kind of financial impact excites me. So just for the benefit of everybody, to inspire them, not hearing it from me, hearing it from somebody who did it.
Sure. So my wife, who's sitting over there, Carrie Scholl, we run a real estate team in Northern Virginia, DC,
glasses.
Maryland area, and we were already number 1 in that area. We met with you. The time was condensed, but you were very flexible and made it happen despite the mix-up, which I think was a third party, not anybody.
That's right.
With you, and we got about 45 minutes, and you really dove into what exactly we needed to put out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all of that, and it was pretty simple. I mean, you could boil it down to just be the digital mayor of your town.
Which, by the way, I think I did it first at like an Inman talk in 2009, was when I came up with it, improv on stage. I was like, just be the fucking mayor. I'm still obsessed with somebody here filling up the pothole on Main Street and filming it and making the whole town love them.
Yeah, that was the example you gave us.
I want that one.
So we went out and did a whole bunch of series, just going to restaurants, bars, neighborhoods, and filming like a 2-minute highlight reel of what that bar was about, what that restaurant was about, and then promoting it on a local blog that was paid, running Facebook ads to that area, and all of a sudden people were, it didn't work for about a month or 2, but then all of a sudden people were like,
And by the way,
shit,
the
I'm
amount
seeing
of
you
people
everywhere.
that bail at that month or 2 park is a lot. Because these industries, why I'm attacking it, are sales driven. And so all the other voices are like, whoa, that's bullshit. You spent $1,000, we didn't get a sale. Go back to cold calling, tried and true.
Yeah, so all of a sudden people were like, we see you everywhere, and like, well, we cut out direct mail. We went from like $15,000 a month in direct mail to 0 overnight, and put it all into Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and it took about 2.5, 3 months, and then we exploded. Normally in December, we would do about 20 deals for 12 million, and we ended up around 86 deals for 52 million in 1 month. So my question is, and thank you for that, but my question is, how do we scale it and make it even bigger? And
More.
how do you, and when you,
More.
and when you're doing that, how do you balance the need to just put out a fuck ton more, but still be authentic to your voice and true to your brand? Because there's a lot of, a
Talk
lot of
about
stuff
more
to look.
shit.
Because I imagine for you, like you've probably got 15, 16, 20 people just working on your personal brand. Like how do you
but
make
what
sure
the
they're
thing-
putting out stuff that matches your voice and what you want?
Because I post everything and write all the copy. Guys, I post every single Instagram post and every tweet. It's me. I write the copy. They, like when Caleb was filming me today, there's even things I've said where I give him a look so he can remember to cut out that part. Otherwise, they watch and look for the good stuff. Then it goes into a text chain with 20 people. I approve if I like it. Sometimes I like the title they put at the top. Sometimes I don't. I change it. Then I take it. There's a reason there's only one post today. We've been busy here. It's authentic because it's authentic.
How do you avoid you being the speed bump then?
You can't outsource a personal brand. It's a personal brand. I don't. I'm just working harder than you.
So how much time a day are you putting in just to
Today?
writing, editing?
Less.
Well, in a normal day.
When I go take a poop. Like there's a reason why a post always comes in for you guys on Instagram around 8:50. It's because a really good time for me. And you know, it's fun to have it's honestly, and this is about life, like honestly, it's fun to have my parents here. I've started speaking less to my mom in the last year and a half because I need that 5 minutes to get that one post out. And that doesn't make me happy, by the way. That's just the truth to your answer. The reason you'll see so much from me at 8:50 to 9 is that's that little window I'm in the car right before I get into the office where I can sneak one in. And I also know that you guys are starting to get to your day. Then you're gonna get something somewhere around noon, 1. I don't eat lunch, but like it's consciously hitting me like, fuck, I need to like think about getting another one out in the next 4 hours. But like, it's random, but it's the most valuable thing, guys. Everyone's like, when do I do this when I have to do my real job? I'm like, your fucking real job's bullshit. This is the game.
So are you actually like on the Instagram app typing it with your thumbs, or are you
Use my fucking tongue. Yes, I'm posting it. Me. Like,
Yeah, no, I didn't know if they gave it to you and you did it in a different program, or teed up like
you know
a couple
what's
days
funny?
worth of stuff.
You know what's funny? Caleb was excited about. Caleb, where the fuck are you? I'm like 6'7" with a fucking huge beard. I can't find you. There you are. Okay. Caleb actually did a good job. I gave him a compliment yesterday because I like the way he vlogs me. It's a new look, fresh eyes, right? Me and D-Rock are in our cadence. Me and Babin were. Me and Iris were. He's brought a really good element because he was a big fan and knew a lot of stuff, and there was things that he knew weren't answered, and he's really helping me answer things. He filmed me yesterday, posting it on the way here for 4Ds, and he got me to say something. He was interested in it. Here's what happens. I get a bunch of pieces of content in my text chain with the whole team. There's clips from the videos because that's why we vlog. Then I look at the title, like, do the right thing, that shit, and sometimes I'll change it, sometimes it's great. When you're around people, you can get into that. But then I watch it. And I'll watch it, and then I'll immediately post it. And if I get a call from my dad while I'm in the middle of posting it, when I'm done, I'll have to go back in, rewatch it, because I've got to be really fucking fresh on it, right? And then I'll write the copy. And then I'll post it. And then I'll reply. That's why I created Team Gary V. That's them. When you get Gary V reply, that's me. I heart it, that's me.
Good.
So that's how I do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me tell you why, coming up to you in the top right. Let me tell you why. Bottom left, if somebody wants to line up. Let me tell you why that's so important to read your comments. The reason I've been able to continue to come up with shit is because I read comments. The replies to things are the things that allow me to build on things. It's how I got into parenting or self-awareness or keeping up with the Joneses. It was just one long seed to why is every single person here not doing exactly what I'm saying? That would be something I was interested in. And then I would read and like, oh, insecure, and you just keep going down these paths. You must read every comment. You must reply to it. Everybody here's trying to build a huge following. The best way to build a huge following is to actually give a shit about your small following.
Thanks, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Chris Cano from Line Mortgage of Texas. Our organization specializes in helping veterans utilize their VA home loan benefit.
Love it.
You actually gave a Fortune 500 speech a long time ago, the ROI of your mother. I'm sure you remember that.
I do.
Super awesome. It caused me to leave a big organization I was with and start our own thing. I've built our entire marketing off a lot of what you have to say. In the morning, I listen to you. My sweetheart listens to praise and worship. It's kind of a weird mix when you hear the two together. But she's right here. Her name's Marissa.
Hey, Marissa.
She likes you now.
Thanks, Marissa.
Yeah.
How long did it take?
About a year and a half. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah. My point, you talk about how you're a very competitive person and,
Yes.
and you even don't want your son to win,
That's
and I
right.
know people take it out of context, but I don't like other mortgage professionals at all. I
Yeah.
don't like our industry.
Yep.
I think the problem with a lot of our veterans not utilizing their benefit is because all the BS that's out there. I think banks and greed and a bunch of stuff have disrupted the idea of a veteran owning a piece of the country they've helped defend. And so I'm a small guy competing against a big lie.
Yeah.
And so what advice would you give to somebody like me
Yep.
to fight Goliath?
David wins a lot when
Yeah.
David knows that he or she is David.
Yeah.
It's a very important statement. Little guys and gals win all the time when they stay in their lane. Do you know how many companies are crushing it on Facebook and Instagram influencers, and then they think they grew up and they start running television? Stay David.
I want to be David.
Good. And then it's just time. Here's the beautiful thing about being better.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Would you recommend David had like a strong connection with a strong agency? Do you want to?
Should David and
I need-
Sasha be friends?
Should David and Gary be friends?
Gary's more expensive than Sasha. Look, I think that at this size, and one of the things we're doing at Vayner, and we'll probably end up doing it at Sasha, it's just so new, is we want to help people build their internal capabilities. Anytime you're at an agency, you're gonna, even the best ones with the best intent, there's still gonna be, at some level, conflicting interests, right? And I think the reason we exploded is because we try to eliminate them at all costs, because we want to build businesses in perpetuity, and so that's how we matched. Sure, I think the reason I think the Sasha Group's gonna be a monster is we on purpose are gonna build a lot of tools that allow people to spend very little, learn it, and not have to re-up with us. It's my behavior. I give you away all my best stuff for free. You don't even need to go to Sasha. But if you want to go a little further, or Nick Dio was saying something because he's been picking up a lot of vibes here. He's like, look, we need to create like a whiteboard media audit product, because there's people here spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Facebook, but they don't really know how they're doing it. And so like, if we just did a half a day session and got $20K for it, which would be nice and profitable for all the great people that Johnny and Avery are building up as learning experience for their, because we have talent, boy, right? Profitable for us and for everybody here. If you spend $100,000 and it's 10x more effective, it can get very good. So the answer is sure, but long term, internal if you can help it.
Thanks, Gary.
You got it, brother. Thank you. Thanks for what you're doing. My friend.
Hi, Gary.
Kim, I can go a little something, right? Cool. Go ahead.
Hi, Gary. Garrett Stone, owner of a RE/MAX franchise, a model mortgage franchise in Westland, Michigan, near Detroit.
Love it. Hold on 1 second. I apologize. Kim, can you text Alex to push my calls? Cool. Go ahead.
First, me and my wife have been following you for about 3 years. We ended up quitting our jobs and going directly into real estate, and then 6 months later dipped into the mortgage companies as well. But it's been a great 2-year run so far. We're looking to scale up, just like the mayor of the town that was down there.
Yep.
We're pretty much at the same thing in December, and we want to take it to that level that he talked about earlier.
Yes.
We are spending ad dollars everywhere in our town to get our brand out there. A couple of years ago, you gave a talk on how much money you should be spending on social. Where are you at now with the monthly ad budget of what you should be doing no matter what?
As much as you can humanly afford.
Okay. I like hearing it from you.
Let me tell you why. Facebook and Instagram attention is grossly underpriced. It won't be forever. Like real estate. It goes up in value. It's coming. Because Google did it. How many people here ran Google AdWords in 2000 to 2003? Raise your hands. Raise them high. Raise them high. Remember that shit? It's not the same price anymore. So, to me, as much as you can, and that means being thoughtful about what you're saving or spending for your life so you can pour more into the business, right? It's gonna go away. As much as you can. But it's content and media. That's where everybody's getting a little bit caught up. Everybody's pouring more media, but they haven't made 14 new, 44 new, 72 new. You're one new video, one new post away from changing the outcome on that CAC LTV leads. Same media spend. 33 to 47-year-old women in Detroit. Different piece of content. $8 a lead, $4,000 a lead. The content is the variable. People have committed finally to the spend to some degree, but the people here that aren't effective on Facebook right now, it's your content sucks shit. Or your content isn't contextual against your media spend. But the value is clear as day, and it will go away.
Thank you.
You got it, brother.
Hi, Gary Nepalmansa. I'm a huge fan. You're an idol of mine.
Thank you. Well, maybe D-Rock's an idol of yours.
So
it's a pretty rad T-shirt, bro.
It's I came
He's
prepared.
wearing
You
a
know,
T-shirt that says, "I'll record your videos like D-Rock."
I came prepared, and not only that, I made flyers. I said, I'll
Old school,
record.
I like it.
I record have your own Gary V style videos, and I made packages. The
How'd
Kickstarter,
it
the
go?
Rockstar Lead Like V.
How'd it go?
I
the
have
truth.
some, like Beth. She's gonna follow up with me. I have some people that I.
Were you
spoke
aggressive
with.
enough, or were you too shy?
No, I was aggressive. No, just I'm good at the networking thing. I know, like, you know, create rapport, and then
You're romancing
I
tonight. Go ahead.
I did an Instagram ad 1 mile radius from here. So I'm doing everything.
You're down. Yep.
And actually, last year I met you, and you gave me the advice to be patient. And I'm being patient. I'm working. I'm doing everything I can. After I ask you this question, I have to record a commercial for a client.
Love it.
So you mentioned 500 pieces of video a month, but I've been focusing more on my clients, producing it for them because they're the ones that are paying the bills.
Totally understand.
But I want to do stuff for myself and then keep growing.
Good.
And so beyond just having interns and doing a shit ton of content, what's like your best advice for me right now?
More content. I just believe in it. I don't, I'm sorry. Like, I started realizing how much my advice is like health advice. Eat better food, work out. It works for everybody.
Amen.
So just getting into I want to stay a David enough. I don't want to grow so much, but should I raise my prices so that I can just
Yes.
reduce my clients? And
Of course you should raise your prices. When everybody, this is always my favorite. People are like, I have so much demand. And then I'm like, raise your price. Right? Right, Zach? Zach and I at CAA, now who runs Vayner Speakers, we had a nice long run on career, and he'll tell you, I pushed very hard to raise my price at one point because I felt the brand was exploding and I would have enough demand, and it worked, right? And there's times when he pushed me, we always raise your price until they say no. The best story ever for me is my speaking career. I get a random email at Wine Library that says, we would like you to speak at this internet marketing conference. That sounds cool. Literally just never crossed I didn't even know speaking was a thing. So I call, I'm like, hey. And the guy goes, great, so we'd love you down here in Florida. Actually, it was in Florida. April 23rd, I don't remember the date. I'm like, great. At this point, I was traveling never. I traveled very little for the business. I was in the store all the time. So, I wasn't even, comfortable. I was like, can you help me with my plane? They're like, yeah, we got that covered. I'm like, oh, got that. I was going to pay for myself to go. I'm like, that's good. And then and I will never forget this day because I just remember sitting at if you've seen some of the old school Viddler videos of me sitting at the old Wine Library desk, it was right there. And the guy then goes, how much is your fee to speak? If you fucking saw my face. I was like, they're going to fucking pay me? So now you got to think fast, right? When I tell you I have no fucking idea, so I'm a savvy kid, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna throw out, because I have no idea, so I'm gonna throw out something so fucking crazy, because I need to figure out what the actual price is. I have no clue. It's a good opportunity for me to learn. A million things are going through my head. I'm pumped. So he goes, yeah, an hour keynote, like how much is your price? And I go, $5,000. And he goes, great, we'll send you over the contract. And I go, fuck. He responded so fast. So now I'm pissed. And so I'm like, fuck. I'm like, first of all, I'm like pissed and pumped and blown away and what the fuck. Like intuitively, I probably understood this was gonna be a part of my life at that moment. And then all of a sudden, I get a little kind of crafty, shady. I go to the end and I go, all right, good, let's recap. So I'm coming to Florida, April 23rd, 30-minute keynote, $5,000. He goes, no, I said 1,000. I go, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I apologize. I didn't hear that part. That's actually $10,000. He goes, okay, great, we'll send it. I go, fuck! Yes, you should raise your price.
Thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you. And, if anyone needs videos, video.works.
My man, first of all, too fucking close to the mic, but I love what you're doing, brother. I love all this. I got a two-part question for you. One, in real estate, in a second home relocation market, 60% or more coming into the area. Facebook ads run well, a lot of advocacy on a local level. We lead with listings, that's great. We do want to tap into these buyers. We get real bottom of the barrel on the local level because there's no jobs there. They can't afford anything, retirement community. What would you recommend?
Do you have data on which cities that are the colder area? Like, have you done that yet?
It's a mix. A lot of Bay Area, a lot of LA coming up, but it's also a mix from everywhere as well. So
I mean, look, when media is so underpriced, like running aspirational ads in Los Angeles suburbs wide for 60 to 90 to just say, is it time to move down to here, is just something you should see if there's legs in.
Gotcha. But keep pushing the content. So we started doing like a local show, a lot of food and wine there, interviewing restaurants on a free basis, putting a lot of advertising budget behind it.
And have you done the whole chopping up the 1 minute stuff from the long stuff yet?
We're in the process of doing that.
Because I'll tell you, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like if you talk to Caleb, if you talk to D-Rock, if you talk to everybody, at first, I mean, D-Rock was trying to make the first 50 episodes of Daily V like fucking Star Wars, like he was like fucking bleeding, dude didn't like, he was just like, that was, and now it's so much more about just getting it documented, doing a nice job on the vlog, but really looking for those 1 and 2 minute and 50-second videos that really give you unbelievable traction when you distribute them in a modern mobile digital world.
Gotcha. Second part of the question, shows gaining a lot of traction, getting a lot of attention. What would be a strategy you'd recommend to maybe get some national network attention? DM, shit like that?
Sure, but is that what you want? You want to be on the History Channel?
I don't know, looking for a pivot. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I would say concentrate on making great content.
Gotcha.
Like, build more leverage.
Gotcha.
But yes, you can absolutely. But honestly, the route to actually do that is to go to an agent or a manager in Hollywood. That's how shit gets sold.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
My man. Love it.
Thank you. Fucking Tom Brady again.
What's up, Gary?
Hey, bro.
Marshall, Total Auto Solutions. Hey, but Pints and Polishing Podcast, thank you for everything that you've done for us. My question inside was more for me. Question here is more for my industry.
Okay.
As I told you earlier, I started just as a detailer.
Yes.
Scrubbing carpets.
Yep.
Going into chemical sales to dealerships, where dealerships make the majority, a big, huge margin on used cars.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And the person responsible for making those used cars, their product that they make the most money on, is a detailer. That if he can make it look the best, clean the carpets, shine it, whatever, that customer, when they come on the lot, they might
She or he has to see it post their, that makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
The redhead stepchild, the side of the industry that is shit on the most is detailing, and especially the recon department inside dealerships.
Okay.
Very lack of education, lack of training, lack of proper tools, lack of proper payment, right? All that.
Respect.
Learning about Honey Empire.
Yes.
And my question for you was to maybe a dealer here or another dealer, owner, or manager that might be listening. How can dealerships use Honey Empire to invest into those guys, into detailers, to make their lives better? And
no matter what you said up to that point, happy employees stay longer and produce better work. That's how it works. Like, I don't, like retention matters. Everybody's a big shot as a boss shitting on somebody until that person quits and then you're like, fuck. Right? You're really pissed about you focus on all the shit they do wrong. You don't focus on what they do right. You nag, you shit on them, you shit on them. And then they leave and you're like, fuck. And then you gotta replace them. I just don't understand. When you own a business, you work for them, not they work for you.
Cool. Thank you.
You got it.
Current thoughts about meditation center expansion.
I think meditation is going to be an enormous consumer trend in America. Like, if you listen to me enough to know that I believe this. I believe the next Soul Cycle and Orange Theory and all that shit is actually meditation studios.
Gary, what's up?
What's up, bro?
So, first of all, my name's Dean. I'm in real estate. I started following you a while back, actually, when you were talking about not listening to your spouse, your parents, just doing your own thing. I think that resonated with me a lot, and I think you have to say that 1,000 more times.
I'm going to say it 1,000,000 more times.
But on a separate note, you keep saying how excited you are about this big depression and the depression that's coming out.
Yes.
And you're half joking, half not, but
No,
really...
I'm 100% fucking serious.
Okay.
There's no joking. I've eaten shit for the last 9 years to put me in a position to capitalize. Guys, 9 years ago when I started VaynerMedia, you know what you do? Client service businesses suck. 9 years ago, I was on fire. I just invested in Facebook and Twitter, and nobody even knew this social, and the digital. I was on TechRec all the time, Zucks, and all these fucking fancy fucking people were my friends. I should have, like many of my friends who were not as on fire as me, I could have raised a $300 million fund, took 2 points for just running it. Do you understand the math on that? And had 20% of the fucking back end for being somebody who just took fucking meetings and gave out cash to invest, hoping something hit. Instead, I built a business that sucks shit. I'm not joking at all, my guy. I fucking put a decade in to build a foundation to fucking capitalize because I want to buy the Jets and win Super Bowls.
All right, good. So talk to me. So, real estate, the limited barrier to entry, a lot of bullshit artists out there. Director of sports, director of Redheads, there's all these bullshit titles out there. But really...
Are you the director of Redheads?
No. You know what I'm talking about.
Of course I do.
But, the housing market is at a slowdown, especially in Miami, and a lot of people are trying to fluff it and talk a big game, and it's great, but no, but yes, but bottom line is, we all know where the fuck we're at. So
and it's going to get worse.
Exactly, thank you. So what's your advice to prepare for that getting worse?
Have cash.
And what's your advice to prepare in that industry when there's that standstill?
Buy shit.
Well, there's a period of time where there's a standstill, and then all the
maximize
real
cash.
estate people.
You know what's happening next.
Right.
So maximize cash right now, and maximizing cash comes in 2 ways. There's people like me who just makes a lot of cash, and there's people like my parents who spend no cash. If my parents and I teamed up, we'd be trillionaires. So everybody here can figure out how they're going to maximize cash. For me, for most people who aren't capable of doing what I'm doing, which is just generate so much, it's probably better to be thoughtful about your spending. Right?
Right. No, I mean, look, there's that period of standstill. Everyone's like, no, we're at the
but
bottom.
You'll appreciate this. This is gonna make a lot of sense to you. I value the depression so much that I've been waiting for I've been in a standstill for 4 years. I just know that $100,000 today. See, what people do, they're not smart. They don't think it's the bottom yet, so they're trying to pull a couple more shekels out while it's good, right? What they don't realize is that $100,000 when it's a nightmare economic world is worth $750,000, and they're not going to be able to pull out $750 in this little window. So am I happy that I haven't maximized all my cash? No, I'm not thrilled. Am I going to be super pumped when the shit hits the fan? Super pumped. Here's the best part. I'm telling everybody it's going to happen. Like, you can do it too. It's so black and white. You know.
Oh my God.
If
It's
you're
insane.
in your shit, if you are in your shit, and it sounds like you're in your shit in Miami, it's not going to get better. It's overbuilt. It's over leveraged. Tax implications. It's fucked.
The mandate this time is going to be much slower than 2008.
100,000%. Or maybe, brother, or maybe not. Maybe the current president and the current atmosphere and whoever else, maybe they decide to put a huge band-aid too. I don't know. What I know is shit's going to hit hard.
No doubt about that.
So my advice is don't try to get cute and get a little out. Maximize fucking cash.
God bless.
Right? I told Zach to his face, I'm like, we got to hit a big fucking number in speaking this year. I want the cash.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gary, once again, thank you so much for everything.
What is it, cozy as fuck up there? Is like, are the seats that cozy? You don't want to ask questions? What the fuck's going on up there?
The hungry people come to the front.
Go ahead.
So,
I think they're just better chairs, man. These look like shit. Go ahead.
They are digging into the asphalt. I've been seeing the 12. Not everyone is interesting. Not all content is interesting. Real estate as an industry is not always the most interesting.
Who says?
Oh, me.
Right. You're one fucking dude, Dick.
I know.
You don't get to say.
Fair enough.
Right?
But you say I do.
No, you do for you.
Right.
But not for the consumer.
True enough.
The end. This is a very important, I'm jumping in and making a joke to make a very big point. Some people think it's really boring to watch men run into each other and play football. Word. I think it's the most interesting shit in the world. Other people decide watching 6 episodes of Escaping R. Kelly is fucking fascinating. I do not. The audience gets to decide. So I keep telling people here, like, they're like, I'm not interesting. I'm like, the only thing you've got is that you're actually interesting because you're uniquely you. The biggest advantage everybody here has when it comes to this concept is their truth. But everybody tries to do what's the right thing to do, and they start to vanilla themselves.
So go deeper and deeper into content, as deep as I can get.
Correct. About anything, like, tripped today. Hurt my ankle. Post.
Thank you so much, Gary.
Third comment's be like, I fucking hurt my ankle too today. We're humans, guys. We're humans. I mean it. It's why reality TV won. Reality TV got shit on. Social media got shit on. The closer to the truth, the better. We like it. It's why we rubberneck. It's why we try to like sit and listen to other people's conversations. It's what we do. We're interested. And so we have to talk about more, you know?
Thank you.
You got it, brother. All right, there we go. Motivate. Let's go, brother.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I launched a new brokerage about 6 months ago. Okay,
Congrats.
and I'm a firm believer in literally I'm taking the smallest salary as I can get.
Good.
All of my dollars I'm pouring back into the
Yes.
business. Right. So I'm everything I can, every dollar I can get pouring back in.
Love.
How do I balance that with the thought you just mentioned of there's a recession hitting, I'm going to want cash to invest when it hits the fan.
You're caught in bad timing.
Yeah. So, I'm pouring it in, but at the same time knowing there's something coming here.
Yeah, you're threading the needle. You basically have to decide, can you build enough of brand and enough infrastructure that when shit hits the fan, are you in the top 1% to 2% that picks up the business?
Mhm.
I'd have to know what's going on in your business.
Well, I'm not as worried about the business. I think we're gonna explode with that.
Okay.
But every dollar I pour into the business to get to the top 1% is a dollar that I can't spend on buying a 24 apartment unit whenever it's at a discount.
This is called decisions.
Right.
By the way, it might be 29 months before shit hits the fan. You would be able to do a lot of damage in those 29 months, or it could be tomorrow. If I knew, I'd sell everything the day before. I got a lot of Facebook stock. If I knew, I'd sell it all tomorrow, because I'd rebuy it back for half. I just don't know, but I know there's a lot of things in place that feel really off.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's college debt, whether it's not being able to write off certain taxes in certain markets. There's just a lot of pieces that feel Not to mention the macro competition of all these tech-based companies that are coming into your pockets. There's a lot going on.
Right.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
You got it, brother.
Hi, Gary. Oh man, that's very loud.
How are
Hello,
you?
I'm
Good.
Ashley Skeen from
Hi, Ashley.
Atlanta. So I'm an extrovert and I have to like talk it out to make
Good.
sure that I'm like comprehending what the hell you're saying
Let's
and
go.
it makes sense.
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So the chick earlier up there, she was talking about like, oh, contracts, inspections,
Yes.
yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
At the end of the day, and I know you're like, content.
Yes.
I love it,
Okay.
right? And you're like, maximize every minute of the day,
Yes.
still have that balance. At the end of it though,
Yeah.
it's like for me, I'm starting off fully in real estate.
Yes.
And I have a partner who is also my real estate partner, but we have a roofing and construction company where it all ties hand in hand.
Understood.
So he's doing that. I'm really full-time real estate.
Yes.
At the end of it, I'm just starting off and I want to do that content, and I don't necessarily have the cash to leverage all the schmegma. I know that's kind of gross, but I don't know, like the contracts and stuff, but when you build your brand, like it has to be about you. So like, how do I leverage without maybe having the pockets deep enough to leverage properly for all that other stuff?
By patience.
Oh man, that's. I knew it was going to be a freaking easy answer.
Well, let me
but
tell you
I'm
something.
an instant gratification, so maybe that's my
You're
problem.
going to be
right?
instantly in trouble.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, so like,
Okay.
look, let me just tell everybody what happened in my, I like to remind people about my career. A platform came out called YouTube. I think it's gonna be big. I start a wine show. I want to promote this wine show. How do I do that? I'm not taking dollars from what we were doing to sell product. I saw a new platform called Twitter. Then there was a website called Surmise. What Surmise built was a way to search Twitter, because for the first year and change of Twitter, you couldn't search anything that was ever tweeted. Surmise had a search engine. I used it for 15 hours a day. Dad, I don't know if you remember this when I started coming in at like 10:30 because I was up till 4:30 in the morning because I would stay and work 7, 8, 9 hours, 10, 12 hours searching every wine term, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Bordeaux, Napa, of anybody tweeting anything because nobody knew who the fuck I was. So I read somebody saying, I'm going to Napa today on Twitter, because Silicon Valley, right? Going to Napa today to drink some Merlot. I replied, what kind of Merlot do you like? They replied, Duckhorn. I replied, overpriced. They replied. I would do that for 15 hours a day, and I did it for 4.5 years before anybody knew who the fuck I was. VaynerMedia was started in Buddy Media's conference room because we didn't have enough money to pay for rent. I live my advice. Patience. You don't have the money? I get it. Go and reply to every single person in Atlanta on Twitter. It's free. And if you really, 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 really want it bad, you'll stay up to 1 o'clock in the morning and do it. And if that's too much for your body, listen to your body. Don't get sick. But like, this is the game. Either put in the work or you don't. There's a lot of pushback to hard work. I'm not on that bandwagon. Hard work is the only thing I know that works when you don't have money. You have money, trust fund, hit the lotto, made it already, use it. Facebook ads. Don't have money? You have hustle. People are starting to try to demonize hustle here and there in different pockets. Hustle's gonna be put on a pedestal when the world collapses. I gotta go catch a plane.
Thank you.
One more. You got it? Yeah, your shirt is pretty fucking phenomenal.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Go ahead.
All right, Devin Tryon from Hawaii. Hey, everybody, thanks for having me. I think real estate is moving towards the Amazon, which means I think it's way too long to buy a house. It should take 45 days. Here? Okay, got it. I think it takes 45 days to buy a house, sometimes 2 months. I really think you should be able to walk in, maybe on a Monday, you get your keys on a Friday, you're good to go, and I think that's where real estate's gonna end up, maybe in 10, 20 years.
Definitely.
I would love to be
Devin,
on
real
the
quick,
front, yeah.
Let me tell you how.
Yeah.
Blockchain.
Blockchain. Yeah.
Blockchain.
Yeah.
That's what
For the
blockchain's
payment.
gonna do. When it's me and him, and none of you fuckfaces get in the middle, I'm gonna move in on fucking Friday. He's gonna give me the keys on Friday. Fuck Monday.
Yeah, yeah. So, well,
It's coming.
And I want to be on the front of it.
Good.
Thoughts?
Build apps on blockchain and wait 17
Yeah.
years for it to be at scale since you're young as fuck. Start putting out content around these thoughts
Yeah.
as you're thinking them through. Yeah, I mean, that's what I got for you. I mean, how are you practically going to be at the forefront of right now, tomorrow, making house purchases go from Friday to Monday?
I don't know.
You can't. There's too much infrastructure and too much logistics in the middle in the way the industry is structured right now. You don't have the leverage. The only leverage one can have is putting out content to create new ideas and get people to rally behind them. And that's what I would do. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the tools are not in place yet.
Right.
Like, I want to go to Mars and eat a fruit.